Flushing of filter element. Before flushing the filter element, to ensure the correct wetting which is essential to perform the integrity tests, check that at least the following elements are present in the flushing line. One valve upstream and one downstream of the housing containing the filter element. A pressure gauge on top of the housing, upstream of the filter, with at least one vent valve. A drain valve is placed in the upstream line before the filter element, and one placed on the downstream line after the filter element installed inside the housing. A flow meter to measure the water flow rates, not essential if you know the maximum flow rate of the system, or you can measure the flow in another way, for example with a graduated beaker. Filter element installation. Remove the filter from the packaging, taking care to use gloves and, if possible, using a bag to avoid direct hand contact with the filter element itself. Wet the filter O-ring gaskets with water or a silicone spray compatible with the customer's process. Wetting with sterile purified water is preferable if possible. Install the filter in the base of the housing, taking care not to pinch the gaskets, while keeping the filter element in vertical position during mounting. Check the filter element part number before closing the housing to verify that there have been no errors in the selection of the filter element requested for the filtration process. Check that the valves, drains and vents are closed. Flushing of the filter with limitation of purified water flow quantity. If the available purified water flow rate is very low or absent, a suitable pressurized vessel can be used that can contain at least 20 litres of liquid, in our case water. The vessel must be equipped with a pressure gauge to control the internal pressure and must have a vent valve on top. Warning: pressurized vessels can be dangerous. Take all necessary precautionary measures, possibly installing a safety valve. Fill the vessel with liquid used for the test or purified water and pressurize at about 2 bar. Open the waterline from the vessel. Open the vent valve on top of the filter housing to allow it to be filled. Open the valve upstream of the filter housing slowly. Using the flow meter as a reference, adjust the flow rate to approximately 2 litres per minute with the valve upstream of the filter. When the water begins to flow from the vent at the top of the housing, let about 4 litres of water flow using the flow meter as a reference, or a container that gives a correct indication, 5 litre graduated beaker. Partially close the vent itself at the top of the housing. If the pressure gauge at the top of the container is equipped with a sight glass, it can also be closed. And open the valve downstream of the filter housing. With the valve upstream and downstream of the filter, adjust the flow rate to keep it constant at about 2 litres per minute, and the back pressure downstream of the filter, until reaching a value higher than or equal to 0.5 bar. Flush the filter with about 10 litres of water or liquid and then close the valve upstream of the filter housing. Open the drains and vent to allow the water to drain out of the system. If the water line has a limited flow rate but is still greater than 2 litres per minute, 120 litres per hour, this flushing procedure can be carried out directly from the line, without the need of an external vessel.